Hi everybody, welcome along to Brands Hatch and the penultimate day's racing of the season, the last weekend. Where's the year gone, for goodness sake? If you've hidden it, let me know where it is. And we'll dig it out and have a little bit more racing. That would be good. But welcome along to our traditional Saturday coverage. Normally, I think in the past, we've just done the coverage where issues or championships need to be settled, but the good folk at ITV Sport have said, never mind that, we'll cover the racing anyway. So as you'll know from watching the coverage with us a couple of weeks ago, Deagen Fairclough wrapped up the championship as far as the ROKiT F4s are concerned. Still got issues with third place. I think it's fair to say Alex Ninovic is pretty happy in second place at the moment. Third position's a bit of an issue though, between James Higgins and Reza Seewooruthun. We've got the rookie championship still to be sorted out as well. Martin Molnar just ahead of Pulse-Eight and Ryan Campbell-Pilling third. The team's championship needs to be sorted out as well, and that's with Hitech and Rodin contesting honours, and it's Hitech who lead that at the moment, and they've got a 1-2 in qualifying this morning through Deagen Fairclough and Reza Seewooruthun. And the race we're about to see is that determined by each driver's second fastest lap in qualifying. The grid lines up like this. Deagen Fairclough, the champion, on pole position. Reza Seewooruthun alongside. Then Leo Robinson, best quality of the year for Leo, P3. Then it's James Higgins and Jack Sherwood with Bart Harrison. Again, another strong performance from Harrison. He is on row 3 and the leading rookie on the grid. Alex Ninovic back on row 4. Zach Skula second in the rookies. Welcome back to Abby Pulling from F1 Academy duties. Martin Molnar is next from Rowan Campbell-Pilling, and Kai Darianani on row 6. The 7th row, Pulse-Eight. Then it's Tom Behrman, he's back with us as well. Not the pressure of a front row start this time for him. Ella Lloyd's back with us as well after Academy duties. Then Yu Hao Fu, August Raber and Nina Gaidman completing row 9. The grid completed by Chloe Chong and Alex Berg. Surprising to see Alex Berg in the Fortec car that far down the grid. Remember, he was a race winner earlier on in the season. That was at Thruxton, and it just goes to show how very, very competitive the ROKiT F4 British Championship has been over the course of the season, where you've got race-winning drivers, albeit it was a reverse grid win, but you know, a first is a first, and drivers will tell you that. And Alex finds himself at the back. If we look at the timing sheets, there are a number of asterisks against car numbers representing the fact that we've got track limits has affected some of the drivers. And here's a look at the championship table. As described, Fairclough on 508 points, very nearly 200 points clear of Alex Ninovic. Then James Higgins 242.5, Reza Seewooruthun on 225, back in 4th place, 19.5 points down. He'll be keen to try and close that up. And the rookies, Martin Molnar with a very slender lead over Pulse-Eight. It's going to be close between those two. Martin Molnar really has got momentum in this later stage of the season, and it's up to Yampu to try and close that down. So plenty to look at as Alex Berg brings his car towards the rear of the field. This Brands Hatch for me kind of bookends the season. We obviously open up at Donington, but my first look at F4 was testing here at Brands Hatch. No more about testing because the lights are on for the first of 4 races this weekend for F4. And as you would expect, it's a great start from Deagen Fairclough, who heads into Paddock with a 2-car lead. We've got Jack Sherwood in 4th position. Reza Seewooruthun will be keen to try and beat Deagen, but his main aim is to stay ahead of James Higgins and make sure he gets the points for 2nd position. He's got 4 opportunities to do that over the course of the weekend to this afternoon, because we've got the reverse grid race that was postponed from Silverstone running a little bit later on. Not sure if we're showing that on the stream. I don't think we are, but it's around about 5:30 as Ninovic looks up the inside. The black number 12 car going on the inside of the car with the yellow trim. This is now onto the Grand Prix loop for the first time in this 20-minute race. So it's fair. Look at the lead Deagen Fairclough has got, and up towards Hawthorne's corner for the first time. There was maybe a little bit of contact further back down the order. Fairclough leaving them to sort each other out. Remember, Deagen's already in the record books for the most wins in a season, most career wins in the championship as well. And how many seasons will it be before we see those statistics beaten? Many people will say, hope we don't, because you want to see lots and lots of different winners. But when you get a talent like Fairclough, putting these stats together, it's one that you remember. It really is. It was a little bit like Jamie Caroline's year. Let's hope that Deagen gets the support and the infrastructure in his career to be able to get him further up the ladder. So Fairclough it is that he is leading after lap number 1. Battle on for third place. Alex Ninovich busy having a look at Leo Robinson at the moment. Robinson in the JHR car, JHR third in the teams championship. It's the top 2 cars from each team that score points, top 2 finishing cars that score points, as Sherwood is past there, very close indeed. Lovely move by Ninovich to get back onto the podium. Ninovich has already had, let me see, 16 podia so far this year, working hard to try and get another one as he goes into Surtees. Sherwood was having a very close look there to try and get down on the inside of the left-hand corner, but nothing quite doing ultimately for him. Bart Harrison in the red Chris Dittman racing car in the mix there, with Kai Darianani coming up and having a go at him, as it's Seewooruthun in P2, 2 seconds down. Everywhere you go in the paddock, you talk to drivers, you find out about what people like. I've not heard one driver say that they dislike this particular circuit. Abby Pulling, we're hearing, has been in the pit lane to get a new nose cone, so not the best of returns to the F4 Championship for Abby, but she's got another 3 races to play with over the course of the weekend, including the reverse grid race, which will be tomorrow morning, where she, and a little wheel on the grass there for Zach Skula, but he collected it up well. He lost the place there to Bart Harrison in the Chris Dittman car out front, loses another place as well to Kai Darianani, who whizzes down the inside. Kai, I think, the leading 4-track driver in this one. So Kai making decent progress. There is Kai, the light blue mirrors on the car. Good recovery from Zach Skula. That would have been a worrying moment, wouldn't it? Probably an understated thing to say that it was a worrying moment for Zach Skula, but the youngster sorting it all out. XL Motorsport in their first season with us in the F4 British Championship, and they will of course continue to, I guess, attract new drivers for next year, build on their experience, hopefully be back for another year next year when they will climb further and further up the order. They've got 2 rookies this year, so haven't got drivers in their team that bring F4 experience with them. Done a fair bit of testing, but of course racing, completely different kettle of fish for those guys in that team. So they'll be, maybe with what they've done this year, attracting the likes of some drivers who have done some car racing elsewhere, maybe want to come in next year, and experienced driver with the team gaining more experience, and we'll see them heading up towards the overall podium. As we look at Leo Robinson in 3rd position at the moment, Alex Ninovich trying to close down on him, so Ninovich looking for a potential podium. I don't think he's going to get, at the moment, you'd have to say, much further than P3 in this one, as he tries to close down on that 2nd position. There's Martin Molnar, the blue machine, Virtuosi machine with the yellow number, one of the rookies. It's Rowan Campbell-Pilling who's top rookie at the moment. Rowan's got ahead of Bart Harrison, so Rowan Campbell-Pilling, who's still in with a shout of the rookie championship as well, has made very good progress in this one as well. He's in the 42. Bart Harrison next up. There is Martin Molnar, who is 2 places ahead of Yampu Sway. So Sway is potentially losing a little bit of ground here in terms of the rookie championship. I've got a feeling the rookies are going to go all the way to our final race tomorrow, round 30 of the championship. Remember, this is a real grueling schedule. We're going to see a similar schedule next year for the new Toka Junior Championship. 30 races, not sure of regulations in terms of drop scores for that, but F4, every single race counts, which is great for us because we don't have to do any particularly difficult maths in terms of working out which scores are dropped as we edge towards the end of the season. But all good stuff at the moment, no doubt about Fairclough, the champion. Reza Seewooruthun here. Let's have a quick look at Reza's points. He's in P2, so Reza will pick up 18 points for that, and James Higgins is down in 6th place at the moment, which is 8 points. So it's 10 out of the 19 being negated by Reza here. Very close indeed. In qualifying was Reza Seewooruthun. There he is in the number 4 car. in qualifying, it was 1/1000th of a second between himself and Deagen Fairclough for meeting pole, and it was Fairclough that grabbed it again. Now that really says two things. One is the consistency and speed that we've had from Fairclough over the course of the season. Out of 20 possible races, it's had 15 poles. That is absolutely incredible percentage. So it shows how good Reza Seewooruthun was in qualifying, being that close to his teammate Deagen Fairclough. And he's not close in the race, but he's in P2, doing everything that he needs to do to be able to get extra championship points. Talking of those, the extra lap record now for Deagen Fairclough. This is what Deagen wanted to do. Doesn't need to race this weekend, but this, like every single race that you go in, is a shop window for Fairclough. And if you can come away with another win, bolster and extend the winning run that you've had, and then get more records like the lap records around here, this is a track where the lap record is particularly valued. I've got to say as well, we haven't had, with the changes in specs and tyres and stuff like that this year, we haven't had many lap records set this year, but Fairclough just seems to get better and better, faster and faster, and let's hope that he does get the backing to go further up, and significantly further up the motorsport ladder. We know things are money driven, and he could well falter, but there is absolutely no denying his talent this year. We've asked the question whether, and this isn't disrespectful at all to anybody, but questions journalists ask is, is Deagen that much better than everybody else? Is it a mediocre year? Is it a good year? To be fair, as a driver, you can never actually win, because if you run away with the championship, people say, oh, it was a soft year. If it's a battle, they say, well, actually, you weren't that much better, so you're on a 100-0 either way. Rookie championship-wise, Campbell Pilling, as you can see from the timing tower, top left of screen, 1.4 seconds clear of Bart Harrison, with Martin Molnar next up. The rookies score points separately. They are part of the main championship, so it is possible for a rookie to win the overall championship, but also they get race points based on where they finish within the rookie category. So the overall race winner gets 25 points, and within the rookie championship, the rookie winner, even if he finishes 6th on the road, will grab 25 championship points as well. That's why the positions in the rookie championship don't necessarily mirror those that we see for the overall title. Very nearly halfway through this race. Having a quick look there. Sway in the 56 car took a race win at Snetterton earlier on in the season. Yuampu, a Mercedes junior, very hotly fancied for this year's championship, but of course you always have to just have in your back of your mind that he is a rookie driver with that yellow plate, yellow background indicating first-year car racing driver, so you can do a handful of races in the preceding season or preceding winter and come in as a rookie, not having done a full season but a very limited car programme, and that's what he and several of the others did. As we watch Leo Robinson still there in 3rd place, signalled as a battle on the timing tower, but they're not really pushing each other that much at the moment. Let's see how much pressure Robinson is going to come under from the 17-year-old Alex Ninovic. The Antipodean has had 3 wins this year. I think we were probably expecting him to maybe nab a few more with the Rodin team. Erstwhile, formerly known, of course, as the Carlin team, Carlin Rodin, but now exclusively the Rodin team. And they've got Seewooruthun in the distance. And even further ahead is Deagen Fairclough with 9 minutes on the clock here on the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. I think things are beginning to close up a little bit now. It is beginning to become a battle. And at what point will Leo Robinson start to look in his mirror as they go down through Paddock Hill Bend, climbing up Halewoods Hill into Druids? Not close enough to make a move here. Covering the road initially on the left-hand side of the circuit as they come down in towards Graham Hill, then the left-hander, Cooper Straight, then up towards Surtees. This is where we break away from the wonderful, both wonderful configurations here, the wonderful Indy circuit where you can see everything. That's where we were earlier on in the season, but now we're on the Grand Prix loop, so the cars having gone through Surtees now, Pilgrim's Drop now, dropping downhill, a bit of extra momentum in the cars as they climb very slightly uphill into Hawthorne's corner. Possible passing place, got to be very brave to have a go there. That's the Derek Minter straight. Down into Westfield Bend, Dingledale, Sheen Corner, which is where they are now, and then down into Stirling's, the last corner technically on the GP loop, named after, of course, the late great Stirling boss, then down towards Clearways under the Quickfit Bridge, through Clark Curve, and then back onto the Bradham Straight to complete a lap. And Leo Robinson not really looking under huge pressure at the moment from Ninovic, who I don't think is going to get a podium here. Campbell Pilling still leading the rookies. Wondering how close Harrison is to him. He's a second or so, I think, away at the moment. So Campbell Pilling has a good lead, goes through in the 42 car with Bart Harrison in second. One of the joys, although things have been settled at the top end of the championship, one of the joys for me has been seeing how the rookies and new drivers into Formula racing start to gain momentum, and drivers gain momentum at different stages of the season. Someone who's got momentum here is Alex Berg. Second car we're looking at, the Fortec white-red car, started off the back of the grid. It's been a good drive by Berg. He's managed to, obviously Abby Pulling had problems, was in the pits, but he's got past Tom Behrman and Chloe Chong, so he's made a bit of progress here as Berg. And starting to look at August Raber, second of the XL cars. So Berg having a decent run here. Won't get any points though. Some of the top 10 that score points in the fastest from the front races. As they head down, once again, Pilgrim's drop up towards Hawthorne. So Berg with the characteristic pink crash helmet, son of former F1 driver Alan Berg. And that is Ninovic off the circuit. Now, is that the result of contact with another car, or has he slid off? I'm not sure if we'll get to find out what caused that, but Alex Ninovic, who was fighting with it, Robinson has crossed the line, so he's still in third. It puts Jack Sherwood up into fourth, James Higgins now into fifth. That will help Higgins for third place in the overall championship. Kieran Salmons and Scott Stringfellow, the driver of the safety car, have been scrambled. They are ready to go for their first safety car intervention of, it was a mistake, goes out on the grass, and he's a passenger. Oh dear. So a little mistake from Ninovic. I'm glad nobody else was involved in that one. Alex will be furious with himself for that happening, but well caught by our team here. And I think Alex okay, but very clearly that car is off. That's when you... That's why, in many ways, why drivers like the Brands Hatch GP circuit, because it is a proper challenge. And I love the fact that the youngsters today, even though none of them were born when we were Grand Prix racing on this configuration, they still love it, and they get the history of the place. They understand why Formula One came here, and many of them go back and watch the races now, which is a wonderful thing. Obviously, you can do with social media and YouTube and things like that. Go back and watch the old Grand Prix races that took place here. Fairclough, though, had a 6-second lead. Will he be bothered? Face bothered? Very much doubt it, because he will just go away off the front again. There is the stranded Rodin car from Alex Ninovic. Going to give a shout out to Louis Sharp, who won the GB3 title last weekend. So back-to-back titles for Louis Sharp, won F4 last year. Rightly highly praised for taking back-to-back titles in F4 and then on to GB3. Mega achievement for him. One title is difficult enough. To do it 2 years on the bounce in different categories is pretty mega. So Louis Sharp a little bit special. He's one of the finalists for the Aston Martin Award at the end of the season as well, as is Deagen Fairclough, our race leader. Let's see what his lead is sliced to on the safety car. Yeah, 6 seconds down to just under 7/10. So all that hard work, as I say, he won't be too worried about it, Deagen. He'll just get his head down. He knows all about safety car starts. And for me, cast my mind back to last year, and I was talking earlier on in this race about how drivers mature over the course of the year, different points of the season, different tracks, just things tend to click and you see them starting to make progress. Deagen was always quick last year, we knew that, but it was around about, I think, the last 2 meetings where he'd gone from having reverse grid wins to being up the front and had sorted out his qualifying head. I remember talking to Stephen Hunter about it last year in one of the test days here, and he said, we've just got to get Deagen's head round qualifying, and they did that the last couple of meetings. So that was where he clicked, grabbed race wins, and then suddenly we were sitting up thinking, this lad's got to come back for this year. Remember, he had a lot of DNFs, a lot of frustrations last year, but took third in the championship, and this year champion with 5 races to spare with 3 DNFs. Absolutely incredible statistics for him. And when we get a chance, we'll have a talk about how some of the other drivers have impressed me over the course of this season as well, and there are plenty of them. Meanwhile, let's have a look at the original start. Fairclough absolutely nails it. The job of Seewooruthun in second was to nip across and consolidate that second position. Third place was Leo Robinson, so really the top 3 all did their job, and Brands Hatch isn't the easiest place to do that with the undulations and gradient off the start line, but all of them did a good job there. And Fairclough, you can see here with the battling, he's got the speed, but also he's got the fact that there was a little bit of a squabble for P2. Jack Sherwood coming under pressure at this stage from Ninovich. Sherwood, I remind you, the black car with the yellow trim to help us pick him out, had a decent enough start, finds himself now back in 4th position with Ninovich disappearing out of the order. Does that affect Ninovich's weekend at all? Well, it will in terms of points for this, but there's no ongoing knock-on effect, because the race that we have later on today is the carryover from Silverstone. So you start where you qualified with, I think, top 12 reversed on that. That's the reverse grid race from Silverstone, where we were met with a deluge again. So far, touch wood, we haven't had any rain on race weekend. Someone tells me there might be a possibility of a shower tomorrow, but are we going to get through with an entirely dry Toka weekend? Fingers crossed that we do. So getting back to Ninovich, not a problem for him in terms of once the car's repaired, he'll be back out. I'll have to maybe shake it down a little bit before the end of the day. And tomorrow's races, we've got the reverse grid based on where they qualified today, and also the, there he is, hiding in the foliage at the moment. Very disappointing. I suppose the only good thing is there aren't that many spectators out there. We'll have to have a moment with the marshals, and it looks like he's composed himself very well, Alex Ninovich. Let's go back and talk about some of the other drivers, though, that have impressed me. 13th place at the moment is Yuhao Fu. That's the replay again of Alex. Is watching this back, he'll be a little bit frustrated with that, but every driver's allowed a mistake over the course of the season. As I say, Yuhao Fu's really impressed me as we've got into the closing stages of the season, and something clicked. Donington Park maybe for Yuhao, he was struggling a little bit further. He's one of the rookies, so you expect him to maybe get on board later on, but you know, he's up in 13th place here and well away from the back of the field, so he's mightily impressed me. Martin Molnar, I said earlier on in the race, has done well too. Started creeping into the rookie podium positions around about halfway through the year. As the low loader gets ready to take net. The other thing you can see there, the amount of rain that we've had, obviously there's no stopping the car. Once it's at speed on the grass, you're just a passenger. So many places like that in the Grand Prix or on the Grand Prix loop where you're not going to stop. So it really does bite Brands Hatch GP. That car about to be towed out. Where was it? Totally lost the train of thought. Nice bit of news from David. Thank David, just letting us know that Reza Seewooruthun is going to be representing Team UK at the FIA Motorsport Games in F4, which is at Valencia last weekend of October. Although this is our last meeting here, got a very busy October actually, because there's so many finals and things coming up. It's a great month for Motorsport, October. There's Martin Molnar. Clock's run down, so as has just been pointed out by Assistant Director Mark Crossimere, it looks like we're going to get a checker under safety car, which is a pity, but Martin Molnar will be happy because he will extend the championship lead over Yuampu Sway. It really could, between those two, come down to how they finish in very close to each other in the next couple of races this weekend. I don't have the grid for the Silverstone round to hand, but Yuampu is behind Martin in the reverse grid race tomorrow morning, and in the fastest off the front race, which wraps up our season, Yuampu qualifying 15th and Martin Molnar 9th, so it is advantage Molnar. He's got to keep the car on track, and then the rookie championship may well be his. So Deagen Fairclough will be happy. He's got the business end done very quickly on this one, getting the new lap record and race win. It's gone the distance. We look at Marmar. There is Deagen Fairclough, the youngster from Smallfield in Surrey, down near Gatwick Airport. A nice little grass track down there as well that you can race on the ovals, which has been there for many, many years as well. I suspect that Deags has been breathing in the fumes from there for a good few years as well, which has helped him fuel his racing dreams over the years. Right, we've been told the safety car has had instruction to come into pit lane, and the drivers will therefore be greeted with the checkered flag. You see the lights are out, and Deagen's getting ready for a restart here, isn't it? Now, bear in mind the drivers behind cannot pass before they get to the line, which should see a checker. The checker is indeed being ready as I look out my commentary box window, so there won't be any further overtaking, or shouldn't be, as Deagen Fairclough will come through and grab another win, a 13th win of the season for Deagen Fairclough. Congratulations to him. Reza Seewooruthun in P2 from Leo Robinson. Good performance from Leo and JHR. It also means that in terms of the team's championship, Hitech are extending that lead because they get first and second. Rodin were fourth and fifth, so first and second take 35-43 points, fourth and fifth 22, so another 20 odd points in the bag for Hitech Finsis in terms of their championship, so that will extend the championship lead for the teams out to around about 50 points, but that's my maths, but it gives you the ballpark figure. So Fairclough and Seewooruthun doing the business for Pulse-Eight Hitech, and Deagen likes to take a checker in race mode, so you won't be too gutted about the safety car. But another win, qualified on pole position. Nobody could get close to him once again. Down into Parc Ferme goes the 18-year-old now, Deagen Fairclough. Just passed his 18th birthday last month at September. Raced in junior formerly, not Ginetta Junior, as many of them do, but the BRSCC Fiesta Juniors, and he's got a little bit of a fanfare down there, which is good to see. His dad Gaz was down there, and Fairclough grabs another win. Round 28 of the championship finishes under safety car. Deagen Fairclough taking the win. Reza Seewooruthun in second from Leo Robinson and Jack Sherwood. James Higgins in fifth from Rowan Campbell-Pilling. Then Bart Harrison, Kaidari Nani next from Martin Molnar. He completes the rookie podium. Rookies won by Rowan from Bart. 10th place, Zach Skula for XL Motorsport. 11th, Yuanpu Sui. Ella Lloyd had a great drive, coming through into 12th place ahead of Yu Hao Fu, then Nina Gabeman and August Raber. Alex Berg from the back, up to 16th from Chloe Chong. Tom Behrman in 18th place. Abby Pulling had issues at the start, as we heard, and retirement for Alex Ninovich. Busy weekend for F4 with 4 races and 3 to go this weekend. Round 27 points look like this. Deagen Fairclough now 218 points clear. Remember, already champion. Ninovich second. Higgins showing as third. Not sure about that. No, he isn't, because Reza Seewooruthun has 293. Reza should be third from Higgins. Jack Sherwood next from Leo Robinson and Abby Pulling. Martin Molnar 8th from Rowan Campbell-Pilling. Yuanpu Sui is in 10th. And the rookies, not a big lead, but it is a lead nonetheless for Martin Molnar and Virtuosi. The Finsis by Argenti pairing of Sway and Campbell-Pilling second and third. Bart Harrison, who's getting closer to them. He was in fourth from Zach Skula and Yu Hao Fu. Nina Gabeman 7th from Joel Bergstrom. August Raber 9th from Mattis Ruber.